Hi, my name is Rob Reeves, and I'm here to talk about outdoor adult leader training that the Greater Niagara Frontier Council will be offering this year and next year as part of our virtual program launch. And so really there's two trainings that I'm talking about. The first is for our Cub Scout leaders, and it's called BALOO, which is Basic Adult Leader Outdoor Orientation Training. And for our Scouts BSA and Venture and Sea Scout leaders, we have Intro to Outdoor Leadership Skills, which is called IOLST training. And so I want to show you when we're offering them in 2020 and 2021, and then talk a little bit about each of the courses. So for our Cub Scout leaders, BALOO training is going to be offered at Camp Shelkoff in October and in May, which you can see on your screen. BALOO is a day-and-a-half course, so it's basically 16 hours, and it's different than some of our other trainings because it's not required for you to be trained for your leadership position. Rather, it's required that at least one adult from the pack have this training in order to participate in a pack overnighter or a pack camp out. So it talks a lot about the policies and procedures and safety rules that you need to be familiar with in order to conduct a pack overnighter. But then a good chunk of the course gets into the hands-on skill instruction that you need to do so safely. And so I said that a minimum of one pack leader is required to have this training in order to go on your overnighter. But of course, we really hope that there's several leaders from your pack who've completed the training, because you wouldn't want to be forced to rely on just one volunteer to determine whether or not you can go camping or not. And so it's important to also that BALOO is a really fun course. It's a great way for new and experienced Cub Scout leaders to get together without scouts and really share best practices with other leaders. So you're going to get a lot of great instruction from our experienced staff, but just as importantly, you'll get to share a lot of great ideas from scout leaders from throughout the council. And so we divide the participants into dens, and for some of the activities, you'll sort of get treated like a Cub Scout, which is fun, and have an opportunity to participate in a campfire program, an interfaith worship service, and all things that you might do on a pack overnighter, but with a focus on how to really make it real for your scouts. So some of the details on BALOO in terms of what kind of skills we cover are here on the screen now. So we have an important session on health and safety. We have some fun round robin sessions where you'll get to go work in smaller groups and do some hands-on stuff. So examples of that are the Cub Scouts and GPS systems, aquatics in the Cub Scout program, gear selection, nature and hiking games and activities you can do. Campfire planning, which really should say campfire program planning, because that's what the focus is, on how to make a fun, enthusiastic campfire program on the pack level. Further round robin activities are a session on outdoor ethics and leave no trace, cooking and sanitation ideas and best practices. A short session on first aid. You know, we don't get into all the details that you might need for some of these skills, but we definitely give you the resources you need to find out more. Knife safety for Cub Scouts, so there's some practical applications there that you can do some hands-on stuff. We have a session on campsite selection, a fun one on large group games where you can get to run around in the field and hopefully take some ideas back to your pack outings that you can use. Meal planning, duty to God, outdoor ceremonies, stoves, lanterns, and fire safety. Basic knots, so especially for our Webelos, there's several knots they need to know, and they're not going to learn if our leaders don't know it, and so we'll teach you if you don't already. And then program planning for Cub Scout campouts. So that really wraps up the course, where you learn all these skills and all of the rules and regulations, but now there's a chance to sort of brainstorm how to make this come to life for your own pack. So that's the course in a nutshell. Like I said, BALOO is a lot of fun. We offer it twice. There is an online prerequisite, and so if you sign up, we'll send you the link for that. It can be completed relatively quickly. We'll also send you what you need to bring. It is a tent camping experience, although we do have cabins typically as a backup option if need be. All the food is provided, although you will get to participate in the preparation of it. So that's about it for BALOO. You can sign up for all these courses on our council website, wnyscouting.org/training, and there you should see when the next courses are offered. So from that, I'll move on to Intro to Outdoor Leader Skills training. So this is for our Scouts BSA leaders primarily. And you'll notice it's the same dates as the BALOO course because we do share some of the instructors and some of the logistics behind the two courses in terms of the food. We work together, and as well we plan a joint campfire between the BALOO participants and the IOLST participants, as well as a joint interfaith worship service. But like I said, IOLST is for our Scoutmasters and Assistant Scoutmasters, and also for our venture crew leaders that need the outdoor skills training. Focus is a little different than BALOO. And here you work as patrols, and it's all really hands-on skills, and it focuses on the skills that a scout would need, the outdoor skills that a scout needs to earn the first class rank. Because we know that not every leader might have those skills, and even those that did learn them might need some brushing up. And even more importantly, just because you know the skills, you may not have all the tools you need to effectively teach them. So here we divide you in patrols, and you'll have a senior patrol leader, and so we do treat you like a Scouts BSA troop. But we give you these practical outdoor skills that you need to lead scouts in the outdoors. And unlike BALOO, IOLST is required training for Scoutmasters and Assistant Scoutmasters to be trained for your position. And it's part of that, because the other half of that basic training for Scoutmasters and Assistant Scoutmasters is the Scoutmaster specifics. So like I did before, I like to get into each of the skills that are offered, and you'll see that they're really quite different and more advanced in some cases than the BALOO course, the BALOO skills. So campsite selection is something we get into, but again, more of a focus on tent camping and the kind of decisions that a scout troop might need to make when making a campsite selection. Outdoor ethics, focusing on the Scouts BSA part of it. Fire site preparation and building, so getting into the nuts and bolts of how to light fires and the safety things to keep in mind for that. Cooking, so with Cub Scout cooking, it's a lot of times it's real simple, and it's just a way to get them fed before the next activity. But in Scouts BSA, cooking really is part of the whole advancement program, and so it's a lot more in depth. And similarly with ropes, so not just the basic knots, but you'll learn how to whip and tie and lash some more advanced knots. Woods tools, so one of the first thing a new scout has to learn is his tote and ship, but we'll help you learn the skills that you need to make sure that you can effectively offer that, and focusing on the knife, camp saw, and axe. We'll do a session on plant identification. Of course, that's a first class requirement where a scout has to identify 10 different native plants, and we'll help you do that and give you some tricks on how to help your scouts do that. Similarly, animal identification, which is a second class requirement. We'll do a hike, finding your way, so map and compass reading. First class has a 1 mile orienteering course requirement. So we'll get into that, and that's one of the reasons we use Camp Shelkoff. We take advantage of the orienteering map that's available there. Packing and hiking techniques. So we'll get into some backpacking gear and packing tips. And again, just like BALOO, this is a 16-hour course, so a day-and-a-half course. We've scheduled them for Saturday to Sunday, basically noon to noon. So really a 24-hour course, but of course, if you don't count the sleep time. So sometimes we get the question if we have leaders that are involved in both Cub Scouts and Scouts PSA, and it can be inconvenient for them to take both courses. Unfortunately, because they're so different, we do need you to take each course if you want to be trained for each situation. And we do offer them twice a year at least, although in the past we have offered them more, and that's something that the training team can work on. So again, wnyscouting.org/training is where you sign up, and we encourage you to really send as many leaders, and really not just leaders, it can be parents as well who aren't yet a leader, to attend these courses. We have a lot of fun doing it, and the participants do as well. So thank you.